void that haunts many and can linger for forever. A void no one can save you from, except yourself. Despite this feeling, you can still see the light, but you must open the curtain. This is
failure. An event that does not accomplish its intended purpose. This misconception of failure is a constant cause for the future greats to quit before they can begin. But in order to know how to react to this mindset, we must step in the shoes of someone like you.
For context, we went to Texas for many things, but one of the biggest things we wanted to complete was my first long film. We had been planning since about May, every day in Discord, writing notes, having a script and all that, having shots down since about June for this film. And we had cameo set, we had script ready, location set, and the simplest thing is things not playing into the fact that we expected. There was delayed flights, major delays that caused time constraints to be happening and caused certain cameos to fall through.
No cap, if your flight wasn't delayed last second,
bro, exactly.
We would have had the Hicks thing, we would have had all the other cameos, we would have had all
exactly, bro. But you can't.
But no. I know it's just like, personally, I'd much rather, like for me, maybe because it's my product,
yeah.
I'd much rather get my product out than go meet people at DreamCon.
Obviously, when certain areas are packed, certain places aren't open at certain times, it messes up the script a lot. And my biggest thing was not forcing the film, because when I want to do it, you want it to be the best product it can possibly be. So at some point when everything just feels like it's going wrong and is becoming forced or unnatural, you just have to call it off,
Everything is a game of experience. You go through a lot of, you have to really like go through something.
You have to
really be like, oh shit, I've been in this situation before. Let me take control this time. This time is like, it's one of the first time you're trying to do something very, very big like this. I'm telling you, by the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, you're gonna know every single time, oh, okay, that happened, okay, we're gonna go right down here to do this. Oh, we're gonna do this. I know, like, this shit, you want this shit to happen so fucking bad because how much work, bro, I read every single script you sent me. Even when I was at work, bro, I was trying to make sure I knew everything for you, but you can't control the outside people, the music.
Yeah, but like, some things just happen, and sometimes that's just how it works, and sometimes let's say if this thing is a butterfly effect for something amazing in the future, sometimes stuff like this just has to happen.
And I will say it affected me because, I worked on it every day for 3-4 months, scripting, writing, thinking about ideas and brainstorming every day in Discord for hours with my people. And the biggest thing I was thinking about is, how am I gonna bounce back from this? And obviously it was a very skeptical thing. I knew I was gonna do something else and call that audible, but I didn't know what the play was, if that makes sense. I was lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I didn't know what I wanted to be. It was like everything that was in my head, everything I had planned, as soon as one thing went wrong, everything else collapsed with it. Not only with the film, but with my mindset. Yeah, I guess I just don't, I don't know what I want to do next, bro. Like, I'm so lost now. Like, it's like I had a plan for what I'm gonna do after I do the DreamCon stuff. Yeah. But now, that didn't work.
Now that didn't like work out, it's like everything I had planned after DreamCon, it just like disappeared out of my mind. Like it just snapped away out of my mind, if that makes sense.
This is one of those things, bro. Just people, I'm like, no matter what happens with YouTube, like, dude, there's so many videos where I was like, all right, bet this video's gonna blow up, and then like I'm gonna do this next. Shit didn't blow up. I mean, it worked out, but like, it didn't perform how I thought it would perform. At the end of the day, it's like a year later, I truly, I'm glad it happened. You know.
But why do you think that like was the best thing?
I mean, in the end, truly, I feel like what I learned, it just kind of helped with YouTube. Like, I mean,
Pull it out like this, right? You ever bite your tongue while you're eating food? And how many times do you eat per day? How many years have you been doing it for? No matter what, you're gonna mess. Some things are just gonna mess up. Some things just happen to mess up. We went the rest of the trip in Texas, just like have fun. And then when you get back to Maryland, then like just kind of think on that.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
Because your mindset now at this age shows that you're already better than most niggas who do like 50 years old. And that's just coming from someone who's 20.
Bro, like at the end of the day, like literally, Michael Jordan got cut from the high school team after training for the longest, improving and everything, but still somehow got cut. Somehow, but it's like, once he got to the NBA, he was phenomenal, bro. That's what I'm saying. Maybe this didn't work out, bro, but let's say in the future, when you're doing films and shit, it's going in freaking AMC. I only believe in you because you believe in yourself. Because if you didn't believe in yourself, I wouldn't believe in you. That's kind of how I see it.
I know a lot of niggas that I've met from last year's DreamCon and this year's DreamCon that like I just kind of vibe off with because I'm like, I see it, I'm like, I don't know. Are you really like doing
Are you really into that? Literally, it's one of those things. It might have been a flop now, but just because it's a flop now doesn't mean it'll be a flop in the future.
Honestly, like I don't know how to say this because this does literally mean the same thing, but I don't feel like a failure, but I feel like a flop, bro.
Yeah, it's not, bro. It's not bad. Like, it's. I feel like just because the internet nowadays, like, when you flop with one thing, because people on the internet, it looks like they live perfect lives, but like, bro, let's be real. This weekend, what did we all post? The highlight reels. We posted. Oh shoot.
No, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, bro, like, people on my, if they go to my story, like they're gonna see me like meeting my favorite content creator and like all this other stuff, but they don't know that just a few hours ago I was bawling my eyes out with a film. Like, hilarious. You know what's hilarious?
What?
The movie didn't happen, but in real life, the movie came true. No, like no cap.
That
Like,
is fucking crazy.
technically, the hotel heist did happen.
It just wasn't recorded.
It just wasn't. It wasn't as dramatic. It was more so like, okay, we need a wristband.
But the fact that you lived it now,
You don't know how to play
make that
fucking
film,
volleyball?
like, later on in life,
It's a red fucking flag.
that's just gonna be crazy, bro. Like, we really did that shit, bro.
I think that failure is something that happens with every creator. It's a make or break. It's something that separates the people that are here for a good time and the people that are here for a good time and a long time. You know what I'm saying? It separates the goods from the greats, because this is where you see who's really resilient, who really wants it bad enough, and who has enough drive to call that audible and make that play. And I think this was a defining moment. And honestly, obviously I don't feel that way now, but looking back at it a year from now, that movie not going through, that film failing, quote unquote, will probably be the best thing that's ever happened to me. Sometimes failure is needed. Sometimes that's something you need for character development, for business development, you know what I'm saying, as a business person, because this is all our own. You want to be your own boss, you have to go through hardships, you have to go through failing sometimes. And you know, YouTube isn't as hard as it seems on paper, you know. There's so much that goes into it, especially when you're trying to be a creative person, and you know, you're not working with a budget, you're not working with a team, you're kind of you and your peoples, you know. But one thing I will say is I'm not disappointed at all. I was just more so disappointed in the situation, because you know, you never want a project to fall through, because all my career has been trying to prove myself. You know, it's felt like no matter what I've done, no matter how innovative I could be, how creative I could be. It felt like I was just getting put on the back burner, not being taken seriously. And I think that's the main thing. It's just always having that drive to prove yourself. And the one thing that you think like, bro, I've worked so hard on this, there's nothing can go wrong. I've thought of every step-by-step plan. If this doesn't work out, I'm gonna do this. When you think everything is going right and then it all goes wrong, you know, it's gonna hit 10 times harder, especially when you're trying to prove yourself to everyone.
All my life, I was, I was wrong. Now. Keep what you tell me, I know why. Living in a lonesome way had me looking other ways. But on a bright fall morning, I'm with it. I stood a little while within it. Man, you have to know.